New York City's mayor is voicing his concerns again and again over the number of immigrants being sent there from the border. Mayor Eric Adams says the city could fall into bankruptcy if the federal government doesn't get involved. Our Dre Clark is in New York with details. Dre.
Well, Adrienne, good morning. The mayor of New York City says this city may very well be a victim of its own success, he says, because the city continues to find ways to house the migrants. And so governors from across the country continue sending them here because they know this is a sanctuary city and legally they won't be turned away. But the mayor says caring for the migrants is a very expensive endeavor. And if the federal government doesn't send relief money, it could very well end up bankrupting the city. Now, last October, Mayor Adams did declare a state of emergency and asked the federal government to send $1 billion, at least $1 billion in federal relief money. Now, towards the end of the year, the mayor also mentioned that some city services could be scaled back or even eliminated because of the high cost of dealing with the migrant crisis. The city says since last spring, more than 35,000 migrants have come to New York City seeking asylum, and the city has spent taxpayer money on providing housing and turning some 63 hotels into emergency shelters.
At one time, we had to deal with Republican governors sending migrants to New York. Now we're dealing with Democratic governors sending migrants to New York. This is just unfair. I'm just blown away that many people are critiquing us. No, critique the people who made this mess, that are placing people in this environment.
Now, Texas Governor Greg Abbott has defended his decision to bus migrants to sanctuary cities around the nation, saying he's only offloading some of the strain caused by record border crossings there in Texas. He's calling on the federal government to do more, but the migrants aren't just coming from Texas. As you heard the mayor mention a moment ago, the Democratic governor of Colorado says he's now busing migrants to New York City and Chicago because he says that's where the migrants coming in his state has asked to be placed. Adrienne?
It's just interesting. I think a lot of people are trying to figure out how they get to choose where they go and the cost of all of this. How much money is New York saying they're spending to provide care for all these immigrants?
Well, here in New York, the mayor is estimating it will cost the city $1 billion for this fiscal year because he said it's not just a matter of providing housing, they're providing schooling and medical supplies and legal services and food. He said that all adds up, which is why he's requesting $1 billion from FEMA in emergency funding. But so far, he says he hasn't received a response.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.